I'm Uncle Mark. Welcome to the channel. Working on this is a 2014 F150, but the 9s to the 14s should be similar. Actually, they should be the same for this fix. It's the turn signals in the mirrors that you can see as you're sitting in the vehicle, indicating, of course, where you're turning. This one does work partially. We're going to replace both of them with some new LEDs. I'll just show you how to do one. The other side is the same, and it'll take you half the time. Let's look right into it. Stay with me, be patient. I'll show you how to do it so you don't break anything. So here's what it looked like. A couple of the LEDs are gone. So we ordered some other one. I'll show you how to do it. It's fairly easy if you've been able to do some stuff before. The biggest thing is going to be if you break the mirror. Don't want to do that. So you're going to want to push it as far as you can push it. Just watch that little mirror. It seems to be pretty bendable. You have to understand what's going on inside here. It's just hooked on with little claws, I guess we could call them. I looked everywhere. I couldn't find exactly what they look like. So this angle is not really going to help you too much. I'm going to show you exactly what they look like. I'm going to try, before we get the glass off here, to get my camera close enough to see what they look like and what I'm prying on. But once I get it off, I'll show you what they look like. They're really little. When I was looking at it, I thought, oh, there's this big thing. It looks like kind of a claw, but it wasn't. And of course, if you pried hard enough, you'd probably break it. Don't want that. So I'll show you here in a second. It'll give you kind of some angles you're going to have to work at. Flat screwdriver should do it. Not too big, not too small. So if we look in here, you can see them from here. And actually, if you had long, thin fingers, mine are pretty long. If they were a little thinner, you could probably grab a couple of the clips, or whatever you want to call it, claws, and you could unclip them. As you can see, not a whole lot of room. But with some patience, I'd suggest you doing this when it's warm, not in the middle of winter, because you'll probably break it. So I was able to loosen that one with my fingers. Now, I don't know if you can see this little guy right here, and just right above that, and right that one there too. Those are the little clips, and I'll show you a side angle view of it, and then you'll understand exactly what it looks like. I thought it was the ones beside it. So once I figured that out, it made it a little easier. It took me a while. I probably fiddled this thing for half an hour. I looked around a little bit. I saw one guy do it, and he's explaining it. It's like, yeah, the way, but he didn't show you nothing. And I thought, well, pull the mirror out and then show everybody what it looks like. That's what I'm going to do for you. Because again, you don't want to break it. I can just imagine it depends on what would break. It could be very expensive. We're trying to do this as cheap as we can. So I'll try this side. It actually clips on, I believe, in 4 places around this round piece. I'll show you there in a minute here. So it looks like just about got them all. There's some clips in the bottom there. I don't know if I can get my big fingers in there, or... Oh, there it popped out. Okay. So it's kind of got this round ring around here, and the clips are on the side, right? I'm just touching one there and touching it right there. Here's another one, and down that side. Then there's one on this side and one on that side. There's something big beside them, and you would think, oh, that's the clip. No, it isn't. There's one there and one there. Okay, so let's look at it. It's worth not panicking here. Just take a look. Show you a little more close-up if I can. Zoom in here. See, so it's this little guy. That's a clip. This other one looks like it's more in focus. Focus. So is that one. See how I can actually clip under there a little bit with my screwdriver? And we'll look. So like I said, there's 4 positions for these. 2 clips on each position. Ooh. There's one there. There you go. You can see how that would clip under something there. And that just catches under. There's a round ring right here that it catches on. You can see where the dirt is not. That's where it was hanging on. So it'll be 2 there. We got 1, 2 there. There's 2 in the bottom on the left side, and then 2 in the bottom on the right side. So far, so good. Haven't broken anything. This isn't my truck, by the way, either. So, yowzers. So I think this is the heated mirror wires. I'll try and get them off without wiggling too much. Oh, they both came off at the same time. Or it's something. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, it looks like it might be the heated mirror ones. I'm not sure what this does. Because there are no... the signal isn't in the glass. Not on this one. So maybe it's some other kind of thing. Anyway, this was a little tougher to take off. And you'll need it off. I guess if you want to, maybe you could let it just hang there and work on the mirror. But I'll show you how to do it to take it off. Press here. If you can figure out how to take this off, you can jump ahead to the time I've just displayed on the screen now. This took me, I don't know, another minute. I used a couple little, really had trouble with this. I was trying to get in here, and you would think it should just push down. It's a tab on each side. So, I'll just, of course, the guys that really know how to take this apart are going to be like, Mark, what were you doing? So I got the one side in there. Maybe with some baby flat screwdriver you could do it properly. I'm not sure where my little blue one went. I didn't break it, so. And you understand the principle of how it's clipped in there. So with the 2 of them in there, there you go. And unclipped. Ta-da. Okay, now there's 4 little Torx bits or star bits, whatever they're called. They're actually screws. This is, I believe, a T20. 4 of them. They just hold the backing, what do you want to call it? It's like a backing plate or something. The other side of the mirror housing. 4 of them, so quickly zip them out of there. And now you can access the back. You can probably use your fingernails because it's just kind of sitting there. It's hardly clipped in, but I'm going to use a screwdriver. I'm going to be careful. You don't want to go at it crazy because you don't want to damage the plastic a little bit, especially if it's, you know, some friends of yours. It's their vehicle. Unclip it on this side here too. I've never had one of these apart before either, so it's kind of neat. The reflector you see here right now we're not going to be doing, but I think on my truck I'm going to buy a light for that side too, so the signal can be seen from the other side. But here we're just going to do this, the factory signal. Tried prying it a little bit. You know, when I did the other side, I just wiggled it off. And this side you could wiggle it off too, if you're just a little more patient than I was. Tried prying it a little bit, and then it's like, well, let's just give it the wiggle. See? Told you. Wiggle it. Now, this part here is actually what it's clipped on into. If you look, you'll see right away. If you look at the new one, and there, it should just pop out. Let's pull it out that way. There you go. Factory half-working signal. So look at that, look at the new one. Well, the new one's still wrapped up. But the new one's probably about, it's a little smaller. Like it fits in there, but it's not as deep. That's the word. And I see it's got an extra couple of connectors on it. I don't know, maybe this is a multi-use. It goes in maybe another truck too. Sometimes manufacturers will do that and make it, you know, fit 2 different trucks, whereas Ford would just have, this one only fits the F150 and the F250s. So yeah, I see the plug is in the middle of the new light, whereas on the old light it was on one of the ends. But it looks basically the same. So it just kind of goes in one end and clips in. So it goes in like that. So I'll show you a little closer before I stick it in there. The first end that I'm clipping in actually has a little tab or something. Can you see it to the right? Where my finger is there? Yeah. So it's going to go in there in between the two, and that it's kind of suspended in there, and then just push this side in, click. There you go. Like new. These are a little different. I'll put a link in the description. These are black when they're not on. Looks a little nicer. Just plug that one in. Just, you saw the way the end was. It can only go into one. It only goes in one way. That's the word. Might be a polarity thing. I bet you if you could plug it in backwards, it wouldn't work. So, talking about working out, check and see, and look at that. They're a little nicer looking signal light. Buddies went to Ford to see, oh, this actually has holes there for puddle lights. That might be an interesting thing to do on one of them too. That's that hole there. Some trucks may already have a light in there, so you might have an extra set of wires you have to take off. Put it back in. Anyway, the story was they went to Ford. They wanted a quote on what this little light is. The parts guy says he needs a serial number. They didn't have their, I don't know if the truck wasn't outside, if they went in another vehicle. It's like, well, just want a quote, a rough idea. He says, well, I need your serial number. So they left. As far as I know, this signal works on from the 2004 to the 2008 maybe? I'll put it up on the screen. To like 2014. It's the same little light. Guy, I guess, was just lazy. So Ford lost out on getting maybe a sale there. This just clips back in. Of course, the screws are going to hold it in, but it does click on there. There you go. Look at that. Now, if you're really watching, oh, my gloves are making noises. Here I should be putting those screws or bits back in, and I kind of got ahead of myself. But you can just know as we're watching that, hey, Mark, you messed up. So I'm going to click everything back in here. These only go in one way too. We'll show you a close-up. It's a very specific connector. I'll show you this side of it. It's flat on the bottom and round on the top. So it'll go only one way. Put that on. And it's got little tabs that it kind of hold the wire in place too. I guess because the mirror does move, right? So the wires might tug a little bit. So if you can kind of clip them in behind the clips there, just so they don't get snagged on something, ice in the winter, or who knows what could get behind the mirror. So get the wires all in there and then snap this connector back in place. And then two more little wires. I didn't check after to see, but I think it doesn't matter on this one which goes where. One is green, one is black, so I guess if this doesn't work later, I'll be taking this apart again for my buddies. But I should have made a note of which one went on what. But usually if there is a difference, like I said, they'll make it so you know it'll be Uncle Mark proof. So I was thinking, oh, let's put that back on that circular thing. Just when I started doing that, it's like, hey, what about the screws? I do have the screws sitting there beside the screwdriver, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put them in. Would be a little easier without this stuff here, but no big deal. Mirror's not going anywhere. So you just have to snug them up. Easy enough, just about done. What are we into this? About 12 minutes into this, 13 minutes. And that last one, that's a little trickier with the mirror there. Results will vary as to how quick you can get that in there, and they should just snap on. And of course, a lot of the creaking you're hearing is the motor, the way they move it. You know, it's kind of skipping gears too, so it's on there. You can always check to see. Then I'm going to test the mirror just to make sure it's not binding, it does move. Good enough. Now let's see if the light works. Here it is. Ooh, nice. That's what it looked like on top before. So it's a lot nicer light than factory, and it's actually black when it goes out. Well, that's going to do it for the video. It was, well, I wouldn't say it was easy, but it was totally doable. If you liked the video and not give me the thumbs up, you can subscribe down in the corner if you haven't done that before. Make sure you ring the bell too so you get all the notifications that ask you the difference for that. F150 playlist there. Check and see if there's anything else you want to do to your truck that I've already done to mine. Until next time, you and your family stay safe. Bye from Uncle Mark. Remember to be safe. Your safety is your responsibility and should be priority number one. Also, give me the thumbs up if you like the video. Plus, please subscribe and you'll get all the notifications. It's easy. The little dog will show you how. Ring the bell. Ring the bell.